A dream job offer, a flight ticket to Bangkok, a promise of a glamorous modelling contract worth thousands of dollars a month. For 26-year-old Belarusian singer and model Vera Kravtsova, this was the opportunity she had been waiting for the moment to finally turn her dreams into reality. But the offer was a lie, and behind that lie waited one of the darkest corners of our modern world, a place where human life is bought, sold, and discarded, in the shadows of Southeast Asia's cyber-slavery empire. This is the story of how a young woman's dream became her death sentence. Born on December 31st, 1998, in Minsk, Belarus, Vera was the only child of Sergei and Olga Kravtsova. She grew up in a modest but loving home, where her parents encouraged her creativity. From childhood, she was drawn to the stage, singing, painting and dancing. At just 6, she was enrolled in a local music school. Teachers described her as talented, kind and endlessly curious. Her friends remember her as someone who dreamed fearlessly, but who also trusted people too easily. After finishing high school, Vera moved to St. Petersburg, Russia, determined to chase her artistic ambitions. Modelling, singing and travelling became her life. She worked across Vietnam, China and Indonesia, performing in night bars, taking modelling gigs, and slowly building a portfolio. Her mother followed her career online, often commenting proudly on her photos. "My daughter, the most beautiful girl in all of China." It was the love of a parent who believed the world would one day recognise her child's light. But by September 2025, Vera's income had dried up. Modelling was inconsistent, and music gigs barely paid enough to survive. She was desperate for something stable, something big. And that's when the message arrived. It came through Telegram, the messaging app now infamous for criminal recruitment. The sender claimed to represent a Bangkok-based modelling agency, offering an international campaign and luxury brand collaboration, salary between $3,000 and $5,000 a month. For Vera, it sounded legitimate. She had worked abroad before. This was not her first overseas trip. She checked the sender's profile. It looked real. She was promised assistance with flights and accommodation. Her mother, though anxious, gave her blessing. On September 12, 2025, Vera boarded her flight from Minsk to Bangkok. She texted her parents after landing. Everything was fine. For the next 8 days, she explored Bangkok, took photos, stayed in touch. She told her friends she was about to start a new chapter. But then, on September 20th, her name appeared in Thai Airways flight TG301 records. Destination: Yangon, Myanmar. Thai immigration officers later confirmed that Vera left Thailand voluntarily. On paper, she wasn't kidnapped. She simply took another flight. But once that plane touched down in Yangon, everything changed. At Yangon Airport, Vera met the supposed recruiter. Within minutes, her passport and phone were confiscated. She was told she needed to travel inland for a photo shoot. Instead, she was driven to Kayin State near the Thai border, a region now infamous for harbouring Chinese-run scam compounds protected by local militias. These compounds are not secret. They are sprawling, guarded fortresses, modern-day slavery camps surrounded by barbed wire, armed guards and high walls. Once inside, there is no escape. Vera was sold like property, traded to a syndicate running massive cyber fraud operations. To them, she was not a model. She was a tool. She was forced to work in what they call pig butchering scams, a brutal term for a form of online romance fraud. Every morning, Vera and hundreds of others were woken before dawn. Guards carried rifles. Phones were strictly monitored. Her new job was to pose online, to pretend to be someone she wasn't. Using stolen photos and fake identities, she would strike up conversations with men across the world. She would flirt, build emotional bonds, and eventually lure them into fake crypto investment platforms controlled by her captors. The process was systematic. Create fake online profiles and contact potential victims. Spend weeks earning their trust, acting like a romantic partner or business advisor, and convince them to invest their money. Show them fake profits. then disappear once they deposit large sums. The operation was ruthless, organised, and immensely profitable. Each worker had to meet daily money targets. Failure meant punishment, and punishment here was torture. Survivors from other camps have described being beaten with steel rods, electrocuted, starved, or locked in dark rooms for days. Women were often subjected to sexual assault. Some were sold to other syndicates as punishment. For Vera, every day was survival. Her friends would later describe her as the kind of person who never stopped smiling. But in that place, smiles were forbidden. On October 4th, 2025, Vera's messages stopped. Her family, used to hearing from her daily, grew frantic. Days passed, then weeks. Finally, a message came, but not from Vera. Her captors reached out to her mother, demanding $500,000, not for her release, but for the return of her body. The words were chilling. They claimed that Vera had refused to work, that she had been sold to organ traffickers, and that her body had been cremated. The family was devastated. They contacted Belarusian authorities and international embassies. The Belarusian Foreign Ministry confirmed they were investigating, but warned that the information was murky, the details unverified. Then came an official-looking document from Myanmar, stating that Vera Kravtsova, aged 26, died of a heart attack on October 16th and was cremated soon after, but her parents never received remains. No ashes, no body, just a digital document and silence. Vera's mother, Olga, told local media that she refused to believe her daughter was dead. She said, "They took my child from me. I will not rest until I know the truth." To this day, the family maintains that Vera might still be alive, that the claims of organ harvesting were an intimidation tactic to stop their search. Still, the pain of uncertainty is its own kind of torture. To lose someone is one thing. To lose them without knowing how or why, that is another entirely. As investigations continued, evidence began to surface linking Vera's disappearance to a Chinese-led criminal syndicate operating from Shwe Kokko, a notorious city on the Thai-Myanmar border. These syndicates are part of a sprawling billion-dollar industry built on fraud, human trafficking, and enslavement. Victims are lured from countries across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Once inside, they are trapped by armed guards, surveillance, and threats. Vera, with her charm and language skills, was likely considered a premium recruit, useful for English-speaking scams targeting Europe and America. When she failed to cooperate, she became expendable. Did Vera really die in that camp? Was she sold to another syndicate? Or is she still alive somewhere, her identity erased, working under someone else's name? No one knows. The official record still lists her as missing. But the truth is that in the underworld she was dragged into, people vanish by the thousands, and for families like hers, the search never ends. Vera Kravtsova was a dreamer, a singer, a model, a daughter who believed she could make a name for herself through hard work and talent. But in a world where desperation meets deception, her dream became a weapon used against her. Her story is not just about one woman's tragedy. It's a mirror of a global nightmare, where modern slavery hides behind digital screens and fake opportunities. Until there is justice, Vera's name stands as a warning. When something sounds too good to be true, it almost always is. We may never know what truly happened to Vera, but one thing is certain, she deserved more than this. Once again, thank you for joining me for this incredibly disturbing story. Before we go, if you found this video informative, please consider subscribing to my channel Truly Chilling. A like on this video also really helps us reach more people. Thank you so much for your time and for your support. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.